Hello and welcome to MATLAB course. This is Salim. In this video I am going to cover how to use MATLAB as a calculator using the following topics. First of all, how to use MATLAB for a simple operation like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, or how to use MATLAB function to represent the mathematical function like pi or the square root or the root or the exponential or trigonometric function like sine, cosine, tan. So let's start to check these topics. We can use MATLAB as a calculator. For example, we can use MATLAB to make addition plus, for example, 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. Or we can use for subtraction, for example, 5 minus 3 is equal to 2. And also we can use for multiplication. So we can say 5 multiplied to 3, it is 15. And we can use for division. But for division case, we have two cases. The right division case, which is the normal division case. For example, if we say 5 divided by 3, the answer will be 1.67. This is the answer we know. But in MATLAB, they provide another type of division, which is the left division. In the left division, if I say 5 divided by 3 with the left division, it is equal to if I say 3 divided by 5 with the right division, the normal division. And the answer for both will be 0.6. This is sometimes important to solve some equation as we are going to see in the future. But if you need a division, please use the right division. And the last things, if we need to make a power or exponential, for example, 5 to the power 3, we use this caret symbol. So we can say 5 to the power 3. And 5 to the power 3 is equal to 125. And the question is, how to write these mathematical expression in MATLAB. Let's go to MATLAB to check. Here is MATLAB icon. Please double click. I already opened MATLAB, so I will go there and open MATLAB. If I open MATLAB, this is MATLAB window. And as we know, there are several sub-windows like current folder, command window, and workspace. Sometimes if you try to write, for example, 5 plus 3, 5 plus 3, there is nothing appeared on the screen. Why? Because when we write a command in MATLAB, we should write this command in the command window, and the command window should be activated. The activated window now is workspace because it's highlighted, the frame highlighted in blue. But the command window not highlighted in blue. If we highlight it in blue, please check that this prompt doesn't have a mouse blink beside. But once I click here, the mouse starts blinking here. As you can see, it is appear and disappear. And for example, if I'm in the workspace and I need to start writing that code or command or something like that, all you need, move your mouse near the prompt and just click. Once you click, the command window will be activated. So start writing 5 plus 3, the answer will be 8. And we can write 5 minus 3, the answer will be 2. And we can write 5 multiplied to 3, the answer will be 15. And to check the right and left division, for the right division, the normal division, 5 divided by 3, the answer will be 1.667. For left division, it will be 5 divided by 3, the answer will be 0.6. If we check again, 3 divided by 5, the answer will be 0.6. It's the same. This is what we explained about right division and left division. And for the power, if we say 5 to the power 3, the answer will be 125. So this is how we can write the command or like a code in the command window. The most important, move your mouse near the prompt and click. Check that this frame for the command window is highlighted in blue. Let's go back to the presentation to check what other things we have. And for our question, if you check these formula, for example, 7 plus 8 divided by 2 to the power 2, all the four formula is the same. The difference is we use parentheses. For example, here there is no parentheses. Here we use parentheses between 8 and 2. Here we use parentheses in this range. Here we use parentheses between 7 and 8. The question is this formula will provide the same result or not? If yes, why? If no, why? Please think for a moment. Just pause the video and think. Let's check the answer of this equation first, and then let's answer why the result is the same or different. If we check the answer for this expression, mathematical expression, the answer will be different. So the first one is 9, the second one is 23, the third one is 121, and the fourth is 3.75. Why the answer is different? To answer that, let's check the following slide. In the following slide, we have an order for mathematical operation to be executed. And the first things which executed first is the parentheses. So once we have the parentheses, they should execute it first. After that, they executed the exponential. So this is the second thing. After that, we will have the multiplication and division. So multiply and divide it. And please note that it is, if we have multiple multiply and division, for example, this one, 3 multiplied to 4 divided by 2 multiplied to 5. We have several multiply and division, which should execute it first because both is a third order. So in that sense, we execute it from left to right. So we can say 3 multiplied to 4 first, and the output will be divided by 2, and the output will multiply to 5. And for the fourth order, it will be adding and subtraction. So plus and minus. For example, if we have 3 plus 4 minus 2 plus 5, so we have several plus and minus. In that sense, we are going to solve from left to right. In that sense, we can make a shortcut or like a keyword. We can remember using that what is the order. So we capitalize, or we taking the first letter from each of these words and we write PEMDAS is like PEMDAS. So using remember PEMDAS, you can remember this is first, this is second, this third, and this fourth. Now we understand which order we can executing the mathematical operation. So for the previous question, we need to know what order they use to explain for each one of these. For the first one, we have 7 plus 8 divided by 2 to the power 2, and the power should be executing first because the order is the second. In that sense, 2 to the power 2, the result will be 4. And after that, we will have plus and divide. And divide comes first because this is a third order. So they will executing this first. So it will be 7 plus 8 divided by 4, the result it will be 2. So it will be 7 plus 2, and 7 plus 2 it equals 9. Similarly, let's go to the next one. We have here 7 plus 8 divided by 2, but 8 plus 2, it's in the parentheses, and parentheses is the first, so we should do that first. So 8 divided by 2, the result will be 4. So it would be 7 plus 4 to the power 2, and then the power second, so 4 to the power 2, the answer is 16, so 7 plus 16, the answer is 23. For the third one, we have the parentheses, so we should executing the parentheses first. But inside the parentheses, we have plus and we have divide. So which we should do first? Of course, it should be division. So what inside the parentheses first, but inside the parentheses we should check. So inside the parentheses we have 8 divided by 2, so the answer will be 4. And then 7 plus 4, it will be 11. So to executing the parentheses first, it will be 11 to the power 2. This is the answer, 121. For the fourth answer, we have the parentheses first, so the parentheses will executing first, 7 plus 8, the answer is 15. And after 15, we have like division and we have the power, the power should be first. So 2 to the power 2, it should be 4, so 15 divided by 4, the answer is 3.75. So we understand now that we have the order, parentheses first, power second, multiplication and division from left to right if we have many, and then the plus or addition and the subtraction. This exercise, please pause the video and try to solve by yourself. And if you already finished the exercise, let's try to solve that together. Let's go to MATLAB and then try that one. If you wish to write, it would be 27 to the power and then open parentheses 1 divided by 3 and then close and then plus and then 32 to the power 0.2. So now we understand that, do you remember last time when we talked about the comment history? We have the history and we can have the result from the history. And for the second example, it's the same, but if you check, you can find that it is without the parentheses between 1 divided by 3. So we can have the same equation and then just editing, removing the parentheses and then enter. So we have the answer of 11. Let's go to the PowerPoint first to check the third example because it's important. So this is the answer for the first and this is the answer for the second as we tested. And let's check first. Do you know what is this? I believe you taught in high school. This is called factorial. For example, 3 factorial, it is mean 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3. And factorial 5, it is meaning 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3 multiplied to 4 multiplied to 5. So similarly, 7 is same. It is 1 multiplied to 2 increasing until reach the n number. Like if I have n factorial, so 1 multiplied to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 to 6 until reach the n number. So this is the factorial. So if we need to write that one, we should write it in the mathematical expression. Let's check that one, how to write that first. So if we need to write that, we should write 0.7854 minus, and then we have 0.7854 to the power, and the power here, it is this hat or the caret to the power 3, and this is divided to, and we need all the division will be done together, so we should use like the parentheses and say 1 multiplied to 3 multiplied to multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3, and then we can write plus and then 0.7854 to the power 5 divided by 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3 multiplied to 4 multiplied to 5. The question is, we can't write the third term in this space because this is very small. And suppose this is the case in MATLAB. In that sense, we can put 3 dot and then continue to the next line. So MATLAB will understand we are continuing. So we can write 0.7854 to the power 7 and then divide it to open parentheses 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3 until 7. Let's do that in MATLAB. So the first number is 0.7854, and this will be repeated several times. I will take it as a copy, and then I will say this one minus and same number to the power 3, and then divide it to open parentheses 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3. This is the first term, and then plus. And after plus, it will be same number to the power 5. So this is the power 5. And then say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then close the parentheses again. And if we don't need to write, we can write 3 dots and then enter and continue there. So we can write minus and then same number to the power 7. And then divide it to open parentheses, and then let's write the same number. So let's take this one and then to the 6 multiplied to 7 and close parentheses. If we write enter, we will have the answer, which is 0.7071. So now we understand how to use the parentheses, which should executing before which, and if we have a long line, how to deal with that. And here's I explained in details how to do that in PowerPoint. And this is a note: to continue expression for the next line, please use the 3 period and then press enter. And not only the simple expression or the expression which using the multiplication or division or subtraction or addition, we can use also other function. So this is mathematical expression we use in math. And this mathematical expression, one of the famous things is by. How to write by in the MATLAB? We can write just pi. So if you write, this is the number by, this is description for that one, and this is just example. So if we write in the prompt pi, the answer will be 3.1416. And this is the square root of x. This is mathematical expression. If we need to write it in MATLAB, so we write a square root. It's kind of taking the 2 letters or some letters from the word. So they take square and then root. And in MATLAB example, if we write square root 81, the answer will be 9. And this is square root. What if we need to take the n root, like for example the 3rd root or 4th root or 5th root, this is n roots. So if we have the n roots, in that sense, they write nth is like the order and then root. And then write the number you wish and the root you need to take. For example, if I write the nth root of 27 and the root number is 3, is kind of what is the 3rd root of 27? The answer will be 3. And this is just a note. If x is negative, this root should be odd integer, not an even integer. And this is exponential, e to the power x. And to write it in the MATLAB, we write exponential x. For example, exponential of 5, the answer will be 148. And this is absolute. Absolute is mean that we remove the sign and just we need the number. So in MATLAB we write ABS absolute, ABS of x. For example, absolute of 24, we remove the sign and just keep the number. It's 24. And this is len. The len, it is the natural log or the base e logarithm. And we write it in MATLAB log. And to write log, we write it log to the power 10 because log, it is base 10 logarithm. So we write log 10. This is for log in mathematical expression. And for len, we use log. So we can write log 1000. It is similar to in mathematical expression len of 1000. And this is log 10 of this number. And finally, this is the factorial. We just explained the factorial. And instead of writing, for example, if we need the factorial of 10, we should write 1 multiplied to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5 up to 10. We don't need to repeat that. It's easy. We can write factorial x. So if we write factorial 5, which is 1 multiplied to 2 to 3 to 4 to 5, we will have the answer 120. So just to practice, let's consider the previous example in which we explicitly write the factorial of 3, 5, 7. Please try, pause the video and try that by yourself in MATLAB. And if you write that, you can find that instead of writing the explicitly here, like 1 multiplied to 2 multiplied to 3, we just write factorial 3. So we don't need to write all the terms. And again, just we can write the 3 dots so we can continue the next line. So not only the previous function we know, like the pi, square root, or factorial, we have other trigonometric function. We use the angle. For example, let's consider the sine, and let's also consider the relation between the radian and degree. We know that during the high school that the angle could be defined in radian or a degree. And 1 radian is equal to 360 divided by 2 pi, which is equal to 57.3. So in that sense, if we have 1 radian, 1 angle in radian, 1 radian, this equal to 57.3 degree. So radian, we can define the angle in radian and degree. If we need to take sine an angle, but this angle in radian, so we should write sine x. But if this angle is defined in degree, we should write sine dx. For example, if we write sine 1, it's 1 radian. So sine 1, the answer was 0.8415. And if we write sine degree of the same 1 radian equal to 57.2958. So if we write sine d of 57.2958, the answer will be the same because this is the same angle, but we defined a radian or degree. And the sine, similarly, we can do that for cosine. So this is sine, this is cosine, same. Cosine x is cosine of an angle in radian. And cosine d, it's cosine an angle, but in degree. Similarly, tan, cotan, sine inverse, cosine inverse, tan inverse, cotan inverse. So sine inverse, it will be a sine or a sine d for degree. Cosine inverse, it a cosine. So cosine inverse, it will be a and then the angle. Cosine inverse to a cosine. Sine inverse is a sine, etc.